With all that's going on in Israel. Forgot that is it Columbus Day? Is it Indigenous People Day?
I call
I
it
know my
Columbus.
one son doesn't have school today,
Yeah.
but my other son does. And I know a lot of local school districts are off today. Are your kids in school or out
No,
of
they're
school?
out.
They're what?
They're out of school.
And now on the calendar, does it say Columbus Day or an Indigenous Peoples
Well,
Day?
on the high school, I don't know what it says. But on the Christian school that our kids, it says Columbus Day. Observed for
Really?
Columbus Day. Yeah, we don't play that woke crap.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
the revisionist history about Christopher Columbus. Did he do bad things? Yeah, but did he do what they said he did, or was there people within his entourage that did some of these things? But Christopher Columbus himself was, in my opinion, a Christian hero, in my opinion.
All right.
And I stand on that.
And the Christopher Columbus Parade is back. So let's welcome back to our program Ron Onesti, president of the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans, the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame, director of Casa Italia, director of Italian American War Veterans Museum, and I am not done yet. This is a lot to put on a business card. And he's also the owner of Arcadia and Des Plaines Theaters. So how'd you get Kevin Costner to perform at the Des Plaines Theater? Because I grew up in Mount Prospect. I used to hang out there all the time.
Good morning, guys. Kevin actually has been a friend. He actually helped me reopen after COVID the Arcada, and then when we rebuilt the Des Plaines Theater, I asked him, we need somebody very, very high end to do that, very special. And so, what better person than the guy who built it? And he came. So.
Oh. Is he a good singer? Because
cool.
I didn't see any highlights of it. Can he hold a
Like,
tune?
Yeah, I mean, he's a folky Western kind of guy, and it's one of those things where you probably don't hear him. You're staring at him like, wow, is that really Kevin Costner for the whole time? So it was good though. His band is Modern West, and it was really good. He sang songs that he wrote while sitting in mobile homes, while he was waiting to film on set. So it's a pretty interesting show.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this afternoon, tell us about the parade and how long has it been gone for? 2 years, 3 years? I can't remember.
Well, it was gone for a little bit. We did return last year, and we didn't know what to expect, and it was met with incredible crowds and incredible enthusiasm. So we're back now, bigger than ever. We've got a delegation of over 100 people from Italy, mayors and senators and governors. It's really, really exciting that we're bridging that gap, and it's going to be our largest parade ever. Actually, we're going to 2 hours this year, first time.
Wow.
How many float entries do you have?
Just under 200.
Wow.
Whoa, it's going to be big.
That's going to be a huge turnout. But are you concerned at all that your parade might be squashed or turn into something else because of what's going on in Israel? I know that Palestinians had a huge march yesterday evening, early evening into the late evening hours, and that the Israeli group is going to be protesting as well.
Well, those types of issues, guys, are always quite the concern. I mean, it's just a shame what's going on right now, and we're in church right now at Our Lady of Pompeii to begin the day with a mass, and we are going to be focusing on those victims. And it's a concern, but we've got plenty of police, plenty of security. We really are not physically concerned about anything right now.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, no, you can go.
Oh, will you guys be honoring Frank Conconato? I always butcher his last name when I say it because
it was Coconati.
Coconati, there it is.
Coconati.
Will there be some honor in and something done in his name? Because you talk about somebody that's fought for the Italian heritage. Day one, it was Frank.
Yeah, we lost Frank, Mr. Coconati, and there was a memorial for him at the site of the Columbus statues where they sat at Arrigo Park. So.
Yeah.
Yes, this would have been a big day for him.
Yeah.
For those of us who don't know him, who was
Frank was an activist. He got into Lori Lightfoot. I think that's why she made one of the comments about the big,
that she has the biggest
that she has
balls
the
in
biggest.
town.
Yeah.
That's
Well, no, that story is a little different, actually.
Okay, tell us.
Okay, tell us then. Yeah.
Well, the story actually goes. Basically, what happened was when I had asked for the statues back. For the parade while we negotiated at the time, and I was kind of tongue-in-cheek. I didn't think they would consider it, and the lawyers from the Park District said, you know what, let me get back to you. And they said, if you sign these papers out of good faith, we'll let you take the statues for the Columbus Day Parade, and you just got to give them back. So I got the statues, and I had them refurbished, mounted on a trailer, ready to put in the parade. And I was dealing with the park district attorneys who let us have it. When she found that out, she screamed at the park district attorneys about that she has a bigger one, because she asked if they were comparing theirs to the Italians. And she said, "Let me tell you something. I'm the mayor. I've got the bigger one in this town."
We could say
That's
onions.
what town.
We could say.
Yeah.
All right. So
The
the
onions.
big question now is, where are the statues, and are they ever going to be coming back to their proper locations?
Yes. Well, our lawsuit has moved forward, and they tried to have the lawsuit with the city and the park district, and they've tried to have the lawsuits thrown out several times, and the judge every time has thrown out their motion to dismiss. So we're moving forward. The judges demanded that we get together and put together a settlement conference, which will happen in the next 2 weeks. And I have been in contact with Mayor Johnson, and I really feel wholeheartedly that a mutually agreeable resolve will be coming shortly.
Good.
But you really think they're going to put those back up, especially the one off
Well,
the Lakeshore Drive there?
Well, that's kind of a situation here. Got to keep in mind, we the biggest thing that we had, the biggest problem about this issue, guys, is the fact that we're a very passionate community about the Columbus and what he meant to us as an icon for over 200 years, and it was just taken down without talking to our community, without discussing. Look, we want safety, we want security. It's a crazy world right now. So the fact of the matter is, what we really want is a discussion. We want to get the statues back. Yes, we want to be able to put them back, but permanently, do we take them back? We take them and put them up for an event, put them in the parade, then take them down. There's several ways to discuss. The bottom line here is our community needs to be respected the way any other community would be respected. Let's discuss this, and that was the problem with the last administration. They would not talk at all.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I love that you guys didn't back down. You actually stood up for the fight, because if more people listen, bullies only understand one thing: power. If they're trying to bully you, you got to hit back. If just like what's happening in Israel,
that
fight
night,
back, push back, knock them out.
I keep thinking of that night when it was Antifa. It was people who were not even from.
Yes,
some of them were from Chicago, but it was an orchestrated attack on police officers who were protecting a statue. They were just fixing for a fight. They got bored. I mean, it was during COVID, so nobody had school.
Right.
Nobody had sports.
Well, they had school. It's online.
Well, yeah.
Well, we were in school.
Well, okay, there you go, bragging again. God. And because some of the people that were there were CPS students who were just like, oh, okay, I'll go. And then they flicked their umbrella. They all donned black. They put on these black jumpsuits. And you see the video. And then all of a sudden it was like Broadway show. And they flick open these back umbrellas and start marching toward the Chicago police officers. And one police officer was injured so badly he still doesn't have vision in his left eye.
Yeah, no, it's really tragic, and that's what I'm talking about. This wasn't, especially that thing that happened at Grant Park was far from being about Columbus, the ideology, the debate. It was, and that's what I'm saying. So we just want a conversation. We want to get the statues back. I mean, we want the statues. They belong to our community. Our community paid for them. Our community paid for having them restored.
That was my question.
Back in the day. Yes, it was. And then and the good part, and why we even have a case, is that I was able to find the original documentation, signed contracts with the city that says specifically that they cannot do a thing without without our participation. With this, and consent,
Ron,
so it's really interesting.
Ron, that was the question. Who paid for this? So if you guys pay for this, what's the city telling you got to give them back? They belong to you.
Well, it's that's where the convoluted situation is, because the city took possession of them in 1958 when it was pulled down. I mean, I can give you an hour-long history on the thing, but. They were pulled down, and they didn't want to. No one knew what to do with them, so the city had them in their warehouse, and then we took it out of the warehouse, and we had it paid for, and the piazza built, and the whole thing. So on paper, by contract, we have every right to these statues, and that's why there is a fight. Otherwise, the city can say, "Look, I don't care what you want or what you say. These are our statues, and we're not giving them to you."
So
that's
okay, so the $1,000,000 question: where are they? Where's the secret location where they're being hidden?
Well, security reasons I can't really say, but I can tell you that was the situation. Remember, when they came down, the city was on fire. people were going nuts, so they couldn't tell anybody. They were afraid that building would get bombed, and that was one of my stipulations. I wanted to make sure that it was alive. So, and they didn't just get rid of it. So myself with one of my attorneys and their attorney, we met at the location, saw the statues on the ground, laying down on the ground, full of graffiti, cracked under the arms. It was, not to get too dramatic, but it was like seeing you're fighting for something for so long, you see that, it's almost like seeing a family member hurt.
Yeah.
So I did, that's when I took possession of the statue for 9 days, fixed it up, but then when she made an offer, said, I'll tell you what, Rod, you can keep the statues, you just cannot put it anywhere in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, Mayor? I said, there's no, you wouldn't say that to any other ethnic group who would put that stipulation. I'm going to give you back these statues and we're going to court. And that's where it's been.
Hey, Ron, did you guys file a police report for theft from the city of Chicago when this initially happened?
Yeah, you know what?
It's theft.
No. You're. I tell you what, you got a really good. That's one of the things. One of the positions that we say that Mayor Lightfoot, we got to keep in mind. We all know the Chicago Park District is autonomous. It's not really a city agency.
Yep.
And so, a lot of people don't understand that. And one of our contentions is that the mayor had no jurisdiction to order because they're saying she ordered it, we had to take it. No, it's like taking something out of your yard. I mean, that is Park District property, and that's one of our contentions. She did not have the jurisdiction, and the judge agreed with us.
Yeah. All right, so Tony Bennett has since passed. How are you honoring him today at the Columbus Day
Well,
Parade?
we're excited. It's a bittersweet excitement, of course. I've been friends with his daughter, Antonia, for decades, really, and she's a wonderful young lady, and she opened for him for about 15 years. You saw her at Ravinia. You saw her on the road in New York and San Francisco, and we decided to honor Tony Bennett. We decided to honor Dick Biondi, and Antonia is going to be with us today. She's been with us all weekend. She did a concert last night and for our community. And it's again bittersweet because Tony Bennett. He's one of the great ones, of course, and she'll be here. We'll be remembering Tony at the mass and at the parade.
And then what about Dick Biondi? He was such a joy to work with. I remember him at
you guys got to be
the dial, and he was he's a legend.
Yeah. No, you know what? He was legendary for a lot of reasons. He was legendary in my eyes because of the guy he was. One of the sweetest guys I've ever met, me being in the music business and especially specializing in all those old school rock and roll bands. I would see him on a regular basis. And he just a sweet, wonderful person that we're definitely lesser for having him leaving us.
All right, where's the parade and what time does it kick off?
The parade kicks off at noon this year. It's half hour earlier, right at State and Wacker on ABC 7. Broadcast live, and we're going to have an actual opening ceremonies with some of the artists and dance groups, and it's really incredible. Flag throwers, all from Italy. It's going to be an amazing opening. We've never done it before.
All right, I'll be watching. Ron Onesti, president of the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans and the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
I love your show. Thank you guys so much. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Urgent Camp Lejeune settlement message. On September 6th, the government announced it will soon begin providing fast, guaranteed settlements to Camp Lejeune Marines, families, and civilians. Awards will range between $100,000 and $550,000.